Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, I'm Paul Sugarman, and this is the Instant Shakespeare Company. And we are doing a reading today of Much Ado About Nothing, which is a wonderful, wonderful Shakespeare play. We're working from the Folio edition, and I'm Paul Sugarman, the founder of Instant Shakespeare Company. I'll be playing Don Pedro and Conrad, and our playmaster for tonight is Virginia Hammer. So over to you, Virginia.
Hello, everyone. I am playing Beatrice today. It's a good thing I dyed my hair brown and turquoise. And so, next we have Kenneth Wayne, please. And you are
Yes,
playing?
hi. Ken Wayne, I'm playing Antonio, Friar Francis, and a watchman.
Excellent. And David Cedar, please.
I'm playing Balthazar and Dogberry.
Yay. And Mark Gehring, please.
Hello, I'm Mark Gehring, and I'm playing Borachio and various messengers, a lord, a very distinguished lord, and yeah, indeed.
Right. And Michael, please.
Yeah, hi, I'm sorry, I had to get some water. I'm Michael E. Gardiner, and I have a speech impediment as Benedict because I'm still missing this tooth, so I'll do my best.
Oh,
Michael.
You got it in the wars.
yeah.
There you go.
And Yasha?
Okay. Hello, my name is Yasha, and I'm playing Don Juan. Is that how we pronounce it?
I guess it's Don John. That's what
I was saying Don John until now. And also a messenger.
Also who?
Watchman. Watchman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. First Watchman, right? Yes. Okay. Brian?
Brian White. I'll be playing Claudio and the second Watchman.
Right. And welcome to our new member, Liz Bellis.
Hi, I'm Liz Bellis, and I'm going to be playing Hero, Leonardo's daughter.
Okay. And Boy, right? You're
Yes,
also
and Boy. Yes, yes.
All right. Jackie?
Hi, I'm Jacqueline Margolis, and I'm playing Verges and Margaret.
Yes. And Eleanor?
I'm Eleanor Elizabeth Foreman. I will be playing Leonato and Ursula.
I love your background, Eleanor. That's
Me
nice.
too.
Very, very Elizabethan.
Very Tudor.
Yeah. And I think that's everybody, right? Yes.
Anyone who wants a copy of it, ask me afterwards.
All right.
take one. I always take everything.
Okay, so I guess without further ado, much ado about nothing. Take it away, Eleanor.
Okay.
And if you're not in the scene, hit the audio video thing so you're not in it, and the audio thing so you're muted. And then hit those things to open it up when you are in the scene.
Okay, there's only 2 people in the scene, correct?
Okay, right. I thought I was on. I'm not. See you soon, everyone.
I learn in this letter that Don Peter of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Peter has bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion. He hath indeed bettered expectation than you must expect of me to tell you how.
He hath an uncle here in Messina, will be very much glad of it.
I have already delivered him letters, and there appears much joy in him, even so much that joy could not show itself modest enough without a badge of bitterness.
Did he break out into tears?
In great measure.
A kind overflow of kindness. There are no faces truer than those that are so washed. How much better is it to weep at joy than to joy at weeping?
Beatrice.
I pray you, how many
Ah,
I pray you, Signor Montonato, returned from the wars, or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There was none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
He set up his bills here in Messina and challenged Cupid at the flight. And my uncle's fool, reading the challenge, subscribed for Cupid and challenged him at the Burbolt. I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed, I promise to eat all his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much, but he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service, lady, in these wars.
You had musty victual, and he hath hope to eat it. He's a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier too, a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There's a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with one. So that if he have wit enough to keep himself warm, let him bear it for a difference between himself and his horse. For it is all the wealth that he hath left to be known a reasonable creature. Who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Oh, is it possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his faith, but is the fashion of his hat. It ever changes with the next block.
I see, lady, the gentleman is not in your books.
No, and if he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young squarer now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio, if he have caught the Benedict. It will cost him £1,000 ere he be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You'll now run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Good, Signor Leonato, you are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble into my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter?
Our mother hath many times told me so.
Were you hold on. Were you in doubt that you had asked her?
Signor Benedict, no, for then were you a child.
Well,
You have it at full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly, the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
if Signor Leonardo be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for a Messina, as slight as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she has such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Well, then is courtesy a turncoat? But as certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted, and I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
Ah, dear happiness to women. They would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood I am of your humor for that. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other scape a predestinate scratch face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and for such a face as yours were.
Ah, well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. Keep your way. God's name I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
This is the sum of all. Leonato, Signor Claudio, and Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonato, hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at the least a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord, being reconciled to the prince your brother. I owe you all duty.
Don John?
I'm having trouble. Okay. I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please, your grace, lead on.
Your hand, Leonato, we will go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do from my simple true judgment, or would you have me speak after my custom as being a professed tyrant to their sexes?
No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Why, in faith, methinks she's too low for high praise, too brown for fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome, and being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinks I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow? Or do you play the flouting jack to tell us Cupid is a good hair finder and Vulcan a rare carpenter? Come, in what key shall a man take you go into this song?
In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such map. There's her cousin, and she were not possessed with a fury exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Oh, I succumb to this. In faith, hath not the world one man, but he will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of threescore again? Go to in faith, and thou wilt needs thrust thy neck into a yoke with a print of it and sigh away Sundays. Oh, look, Don Pedro is returned to seek you. Don Pedro, what you got? Don Pedro.
Oh, what secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonatus?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Claudio? I can be secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so, but on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance, he is in love. With who? Now, that is your grace's part. Mark, how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
If this were so, so were it uttered.
Like the old tale, my lord, it is not so, nor 'twas not so, but indeed, God forbid, it should be so.
If my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
Yeah.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And my two...
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And my two faiths and troths, my lord, I speak mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part, but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I will have a reed shade winded on my forehead and hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me, because I will not do that. I will not do them the wrong, to mistrust any. I will do myself the right, to trust none. And the fine is, for the which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see there ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that I ever lose more blood with love than I will again with drinking. Pick out mine eyes with a ballot maker's pen, and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, if ever thou dost fall from this face, thou wilt prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat and shoot at me, and he that hits me, let him be clapped on the shoulder and called out.
Well, as time shall try, in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
Yeah, the savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them on my forehead, and let me be vilely painted in such great letters as they write here as a good horse to hire. Let them signify under my sign, here you may see Benedict, the married man.
If this should ever happen, thou wouldst be horn mad.
Nay, if Cupid have not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
Yeah, I look for an earthquake too, then.
Well, you will temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, repair to Leonatus. Commend me to him, and tell him I will not fail him at supper, for indeed hath made great preparation.
I have almost matter enough for such an embassage, and so I commit you.
To the tuition of God, from my house, if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedict.
Nay, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometimes guarded with fragments, and the guards are but slightly basted on neither. Ere you flout old ends any further, examine your conscience. And so I leave you.
My liege, your highness now may do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonato any son, my lord?
No child but Hero. She's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudia?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked, but had a rougher task in mind, than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant in their rooms. come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young hero is, saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the hearer with a book of words. If thou dost love fair hero, cherish it, and I will break with her. Was not to this end that thou beginst to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly do you minister to love, that knows love's grief by his complexion. But lest my liking might not too sodden seem, I would have salvaged it with a longer treatise.
What need you bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is a necessity. Look what will serve is fit, 'tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have a revelling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair hero I am Claudio, and in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then after to her father will I break, and the conclusion is she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
Leonato? Where is Leonato?
Do I have to read everybody's part? Where is Leonato?
I'm here.
Okay, good. Sorry.
Where is my brother? How now, brother? Where is my cousin, your son? Hath he provided this music?
He is very busy about it, but brother, I can tell you news that you yet dreamt not of.
Are they good?
As the event stamps them, but they have a good cover. They show well outward. The prince and Count Claudio walking in a thick-peached alley in my orchard were thus overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night in a dance. And if he found her accordance, he meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break with you of it.
Hath the fellow any wit that told you this?
A good sharp fellow. I will send for him and question him yourself.
No. We will hold it as a dream till it appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter withal, that she may be the better prepared for an answer, if peradventure this be true. Go you and tell her of it. Cousins, you know what you have to do. Oh, I cry you mercy, friend, go you with me, and I will use your skill. Good cousin, have a care this busy time.
Enter Sir John the Bastard and Conrad his companion. Have we a Conrad? A Sir John somewhere? Hello? I don't know what's going on here. Would someone please help me out here? Woohoo!
Yeah, this is a funny night.
Shall I step in as Conrad?
Okay, sure, Eleanor.
Now you need Sir
That's
John.
Paul must be indisposed somehow.
Would the good year, my lord, why are you thus out of measure sad?
Oh, there's no. Oh, you have somebody. Oh, great. Go ahead.
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds. Therefore, the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing bringeth it?
If not a present remedy, yet a patient sufferance.
I wonder that thou, being as thou say'st thou art, born under Saturn, goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jests, eat when I have stomach, and wait for no man's leisure. sleep when I am drowsy, and tend on no man's business, laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath ta'en you newly into his grace, where it is impossible you should take root but by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I'd rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace, and it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man, it must not be denied, but I am a plain dealing villain. I am trusted with a muscle and enfranchised with a clog. Therefore, I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
And you make no use of your discontent?
I will make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? What news, Borachio?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Harry, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? And who? Which way looks he?
Marion Harrow, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
A very forward march, chick. How came you to this?
Being entertained for a perfumer, as I was smoking a musty room, comes me the prince and Claudio hand in sad conference. I whipped behind the arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Harrow for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him anyway, I bless myself. Every way you are both sure, and will assist me.
To the death, my lord.
Let us to the great supper. Their cheer is the greater that I am subdued. Would the cook were of my mind? Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Act 2, Scene 1.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedick. The one is too like an image, it says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
Then half Signor Benedick's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedick's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man would win any woman in the world, if he could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband, if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
If faith she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way. For it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a cow too cursed he sends none.
So by being too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just, if he send me no husband, for the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. Ugh, I would rather lie in the woolen.
You may light upon a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel? and making my waiting gentlewoman. He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man, and he that is more than a youth is not for me, but he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore, I will even take sixpence in earnest of the bird, and lead his apes into hell.
Well, then, go you into hell.
No, but to the gate, and there will the devil meet me, like an old cuckold with horns on his head, and say, Get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. Here's no place for you maids. So deliver I up my apes, and away to St. Peter for the heavens. He shows me where the bachelors sit, and there live we as merry as the day is long.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your father.
Yes, Faith, it is my cousin's duty to make curtsy, and say as it please you. But yet for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow. Or else make another curtsy, and say, Father, as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered with a piece of valiant dust, to make account of her blood, of wayward mole? No, uncle, I'll none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly I hold it a sin to match in my kin.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. If the prince be too important, tell him there is measure in everything, and so dance out the answer. For hear me, hero, wooing, wedding, and repenting is as a Scotch jig, a measure and a sync-paste. The first suit is hot and hasty, like a Scotch jig, and full as fantastical. The wedding mannerly, modest, as a measure, full of state and enchantry. And then comes repentance, and with his bad legs falls into the sink pace, faster and faster, till he sinks into his grave.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering, brother. Make good room.
Enter Prince Pedro, Claudio, and Benedict and Balthazar, maskers with a drum. Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I'm yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so when I please.
And when please you to say so?
When I like your favor, for Godeth and the loose should be like the case.
My visor is Philemon's roof, within the house is love.
Why then your visor should be thatched.
Oh, speak low if you speak love.
Benedict?
Those are not my words. That's the guy before me. I approach. That's Balthazar or somebody else.
Yeah, I have a mark. I'm sorry. Well, I would you did like me.
Oh, so would not I, for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. The hearers may cry amen.
Oh, God, match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God, keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clock?
No more words. The clock has answered.
I know you well enough. You are Signor Antonio.
At a word, I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
To tell you true, I counterfeit him.
You could never do him so ill well unless you were the very man. Here's his dry hand up and down. You are he, you are he.
At a word, I am not.
Come, come. Do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Go to, come, you are he. Graces will appear, and there's an end.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful, and that I had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales? Well, this was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
Oh, I'm sure you know him well enough.
Oh, not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he's the prince's jester. Very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him. And the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleaseth men and angers them. And then they laugh at him and beat him. I'm sure he's in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Oh, do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which peradventure, not marked or not laughed at, strikes him into a melancholy, and then there's partridge wing saved. For the fool will eat no supper that night. Oh, we must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I will leave them at the next turning.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow her, and but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are not you Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He's enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too, and he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Exit money, Claudio. This answer I in the name of Benedict. But hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch. Against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, Hero.
Count Claudio.
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow about your own business, Count. Count, what fashion will you wear the garland off? About your neck like a usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince has got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Well, that's spoken like an honest drovier, so they sell bullocks. What, did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you leave me.
Huh. Now you strike like the blind man. It was the boy that stole your meat, and you beat the post.
If it will not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Poor hurt fool. Now will he creep into sedges. But my lady Beatrice should know me, and not know me. The princess fool. Ha! It may be I go under this title because I am merry, yea, but so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not to be so reputed. It is the base, though bitter, disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
No, senor, where's the count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fane. I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, I think I told him true, that your grace had got the will of this young lady, and I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland as being forsaken, or to bind him a rod as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped, what's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy who, being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it to his companion and he steals it.
Will thou make a trust a transgression? The transgression is in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss the rod had been made, and the garland too, for the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed on you, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner.
If their singing answer your saying, by my faith, you say it honestly.
The lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, yeah. She misused me past the endurance of a block. An oak with one green leaf on it would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, and that I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible convenience upon me that I stood like a man at a mark, with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poignards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as terminations, there were no living near her. She would affect her to the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam had left before he transgressed. She would have made Hercules have turned spit, yea, and have cleft his club to make the fire too. Talk not of her. You shall find her the infernal Ate in good apparel. I would do God some scholar would conjure her, for certainly while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in sanctuary, and people sin upon purpose because they would go thither. So indeed all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Look, here she comes.
Oh, will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go to the slightest errand now to the antipodes that you can devise to send me. I will fetch you a toothpicker now for the furthest inch of Asia, bring you the length of Prester John's foot, fetch you hair up the great cow's beard, do you any unbesage to the pygmies, rather than hold 3 conferences with this harpy. You have no employment for me?
None but to desire your good company.
Oh, God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure this lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for a single one. Marry, once before he won it of me, with false dice. Therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
Oh, you have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudia, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then, sick?
Neither, my lord.
The count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well. but civil, Count. Civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
Oh, in faith, lady, I think your blazon to be true, though I'll be sworn if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is one. I have broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you, and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let him not speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord, I thank it. Poor fool, it keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good Lord for alliance. Thus goes everyone to the world but I. But I am sunburnt. I might sit in a corner and cry hey ho for a husband.
Oh, Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
Oh, I would rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands, if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord, unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth, and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you, for out of a question you were born in a merry hour.
No, sure, my lord, my mother cried. But then there was a star danced, and under that was I born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Peace, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry you mercy, uncle, by your grace's pardon.
Oh, by my troth, a pleasant spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She's never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then. For I have heard my daughter say she hath often dreamt of unhappiness, and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, no, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Oh, Count Claudio, when means you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence just of a night, and a time too brief, too, to have all things answer mind.
Oh, come, you shake the head of so long a breathing. But I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. I will in the interim undertake one of Hercules's labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, and I doubt not but to fashion it. If you three will but minister such assistance.
Wait,
as
can I
shall
just
give
say,
you direction.
I don't know what happened to Paul, but Jackie, thank you so much for filling in for Don Pedro. Would you mind showing your face until,
Okay.
I don't know, when
All right.
Paul
I'm
comes in, because that
sorry.
just makes it more engaging.
I just
Would you mind?
all right. I don't
Thanks. I
mind.
don't know what happened to Paul, but thanks for filling
Okay.
in.
All right.
Okay,
He said he had
Carry
something to
on.
do.
carry
He said
on,
he wouldn't
everybody.
be on, yeah.
Sorry.
All right. If you three but will minister such assistance as I shall give you direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you to gentle hero?
I would do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedick is not the unhopefullest husband that I know. Thus far can I praise him. He is of a noble strain, of approved valor and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin, that she shall fall in love with Benedick, and I with your two helps, who so practice on Benedick that in despite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Go in with me, and I will tell you my drift.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Harrow.
I remember.
I can at any unseizable instant of the night appoint her to look out at her lady's chamber's window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother, spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation do you mightily hold up to a consummated stale, such a one as a Harrow.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Harrow, and kill Leonato. Look you for my other issue? Any other issue?
Only to despite them. I will endeavor anything.
Go then, find me a meet hour to draw on Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Harrow loves me, and tend a kind of zeal both to the prince and Claudio, as in a love of your brother's honor, which hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus like to be cousin with the semblance of a maid that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window, hear me call Margaret Harrow, hear Margaret term me Claudio, and bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime I will so fashion the matter that Harrow shall be absent, and there shall appear such seeming truths of Harrow's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparation o'erthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can. I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be thou constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
Boy,
Signor,
in my chamber window lies a book. Bring it hither to me in the orchard.
I am here already, sir.
I know that, but I would have thee hence and here again. I do but much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he have laughed at such shallow follies in others, becomes the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music in him but the drum and the fife, and now he had rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would have walked 10 miles afoot to see a good armor, and now he will lie 10 nights awake carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now he's turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet. There's so many strange dishes. Oh, may I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell, I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster, but I'll take my oath on it till he hath made an oyster of me. He shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not for an angel of good discourse. An excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color it please God. Ah, the prince and Monsieur love. I will hide me in the arbor.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Yea, my good lord. How still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Benedict hath hid himself?
Oh, very well, my lord. The music ended. We'll fit the kid fox with a pennyworth.
Come, Balthazar, we'll hear that song again.
Oh, good my lord, tax not so bad a voice to slander music any more than once.
It is the witness still of excellency to put a strange face on his own perfection. I pray thee sing, and let me woo no more.
Because you talk of wooing, I will sing, since many a wooer doth commence his suit to her he thinks not worthy, yet he woos, yet he will swear he loves.
Nay, pray thee come, or if thou wilt hold longer argument, do it in notes.
Note this before my notes. There is not a note of mine that's worth the noting.
Oh, why, these are very crotchets that he speaks. Note notes, forsooth, and noting.
Now, divine air, now his soul ravished. Is it not strange that sheep's guts should hail souls out of men's bodies? Well, a horn for my money when all's done.
Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever. One foot in sea and one on shore. To one thing constant never. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your songs of woe into hey nonny nonny. Sing no more ditties, sing no more of dumps so dull and heavy. The fraud of men were ever so, since summer first was levy. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey nonny nonny.
By my troth, a good song.
And an ill sinker, my lord.
Oh, no, faith, thou sing'st well enough for a shift.
Had he been a dog that should have howled thus, they would have hanged him. and I pray God his bad voice bode no mischief. I had as lief as heard the night raven come what plague would have come after it.
Yea, Mary, dost thou hear, Balthazar? I pray thee, get us some excellent music for tomorrow night. We would have it at my lady Hero's chamber window.
Best I can, my lord.
Do so, farewell. Come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me today, that your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedick?
Oh, aye, stalk on, the foul sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither. But most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedick, whom she hath in all outward behaviors seemed never to abhor.
Is it possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection, it is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith like enough.
Oh God, counterfeit. There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why, what effects of passion shows she?
Bait the hook well. This fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
How? I pray you. You amaze me. I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedick.
I should think this is a gull, but the white-bearded fellow speaks. He speaks it. Knavery cannot sure hide himself in such reverence.
He hath ta'en the affection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedick?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true indeed. So your daughter says. Shall I, says she, that have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This says she now when she is beginning to write to him, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there will she sit in her smock till she have writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Oh, when she had writ it and was reading it over, she found Benedick and Beatrice between the sheets.
That.
Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he writ to me. Yea, though I love him, I should.
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience.
She doth indeed. My daughter says so. And the ecstasy hath so much o'erborne her that my daughter is sometime afeard she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
It were good that Benedick knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would but make sport of it, and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should, it were an alms to hang him. She's an excellent sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceedingly wise.
In everything but in loving Benedick.
Oh, my lord, wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body, we have 10 proofs to 1 that blood hath the victory. I'm sorry for her, as I have just cause. being her uncle and her guardian.
I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have daffed all other respects and made her half myself. I pray you tell Benedick of it, and hear what he will say.
Were it good, think you?
Hero thinks surely she will die, for she says she will die if he love her not, and she will die ere she make her love known, and she will die if he woo her, rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well if she should tender of her love. 'Tis very possible he'll scorn it, for the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
Well, he hath indeed a good outward happiness.
For God, and in my mind, very wise.
He doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
Oh, as Hector, I assure you. And in the managing of quarrels, as you may see, he is wise, for either he avoids them with great discretion or undertakes them with a Christian-like fear.
If he do fear God, he must necessarily keep peace. If he break the peace, he ought to enter into a quarrel with fear and trembling.
And so will he do, for the man doth fear God, howsoever it seems not in him, by some large jests he will make. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go see Benedick and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear further of it by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedick well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much unworthy he is to have so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If he do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Well, let there be some net spread. Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewomen carry. The sport, when they hold one an opinion of another's dotage, and no such matter, that's the scene that I would see, which will be merely a dumb show. Let us send her to call him to dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They had the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have the full bent. Love me. What? It must be requited. I hear how I am censored. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive thy love come from her. They say, too, that she will rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth. I can bear them witness, and virtuous, just so I can not reprove it, and wise, but for loving me, by my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage. But does not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No. The world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she is a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for these thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure then in the message.
Yea, just so much as you may take upon a knive's point, and choke a doll withal. You have no stomach, signor? Fare you well.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. That's as much as to say any pains that I take for you is as easy as thanks. If I do not take pity on her, I am a villain. If I do not love her, I am a Jew. I will go get her picture.
Act 3, enter Hero and two gentlemen, Margaret and Ursula.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There shall find my cousin Beatrice, proposing with the prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear and tell her I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheard us, and bid her steal into the pleached bower where honeysuckles ripen by the sun. Forbid the sun to enter. Like favorites, made proud by princes that advance their pride, against that power that bred it, there she will hide her. To listen our purpose, this is thy office. Bear thee well in it, and leave us alone.
I'll make her come, I warrant you presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace his alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedict. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than every man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedict is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made, that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin.
Enter Beatrice.
For look where Beatrice like a lapwing runs, close by the ground to hear our conference.
The pleasantest angling is to see the fish cut with her golden oars the silver stream, and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So angle we for Beatrice, who even now is couched in the wood-vine coverture. Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
Then we go near her, that her ear lose nothing of the false sweet bait that we lay for it. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new troth lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they love Benedict, to wish him wrestle with affection, and to never let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full, as fortunate a bend as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
O God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and on her wits values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. And therefore certainly it were not good she knew his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw men, how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, but she would spell him backward. If fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister. If black, wide nature drawing off of an antic, made a folly blot. If tall, a lance ill-headed. If low, an agate very wittily cut. If speaking, why a vein blown with all winds. If silent, why a block moving none. So turns she every man the wrong side out. and never gives to truth and virtue, that which this with simpleness and merit purchase.
Sure, sure. Such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd. And from all fashions, as Beatrice, she is not, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air, or she would laugh at me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly. If it were better a death to die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather I would go to Benedict, and will console him to fight against his passion. And truly I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with one doth not know how much an ill word may poison liking.
Not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedict.
He is the only man of Italy, always expected, my dear Claudio.
I pray you be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy. Signor Benedict, for shape, for bearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in report through Italy.
Indeed, he has an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come going. I'll show you these some attires, and have thy counsel, which is by the best to furnish me tomorrow.
She's tame, I warrant you. We have caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
Fires in my ears. Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
Act 3, Scene 2. Enter Prince, Claudio, Benedict, and Leonato.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate, and then go I toward Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be a great soil in the new gloss of your marriage, as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedict for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot he is all mirth. He hath twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstring, and the little hangman dare not shoot at him. He hath a heart as sound as a bell, and his tongue is the clapper, for what his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Oh, hang him, truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Well, draw it.
Hang it.
You must hang it first, and draw it afterwards.
What? Sigh for the toothache?
Where is but a humor or a worm?
Well, everyone cannot master a grief but he that has it.
Yet say I, he is in love.
There is no appearance of fancy in him, unless it be a fancy that he hath to strange disguises, as to be a Dutchman today and a Frenchman tomorrow. Unless he have a fancy to this foolery, as it appears he hath, he is no fool for fancy, as you would have it to appear he is.
If he be not in love with some woman, there is no believing old signs. A brushes, his hat, a morning's. What should that book bode?
Hath any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him, and the old ornament of his cheek have already stuffed tennis balls.
Indeed, he looks younger than he did by the loss of a beard.
Nay, rubs himself with civet. Can you smell him out by that?
That's as much to say the sweet youth in love.
The greatest note of it is his melancholy.
And when would he want to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself, for which I hear what they say of him.
Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is now crept into a lute string, and now governed by stops.
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, he is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That would I know too. I warrant one that knows him not.
Yes, and his ill conditions, and in despite of all, dies for him.
She shall be buried with her face upwards.
Yeah, this is no charm for the toothache. Oh, Signora, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
For my life to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Harrow and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice. And then the two bears will not bite one another when they meet. Enter John the Bastard. Bastard. Asian John the Bastard.
Yes, you are.
I knew he's around here somewhere. There we go.
I'm sorry. My lord and brother, God save you.
Ah, good den, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you,
In private?
if it please you. Yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and am better at me by that I now will manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well and in dearness of heart. Have hoped to effect your ensuing marriage, surely suited ill spent and labor ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she hath been too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who? Harrow?
Even she. Leonato's Harrow, your Harrow, every man's Harrow.
Disloyal?
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse, thinking you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warrant. Go but with me tonight. You shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her, then tomorrow wed her. But it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so.
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight, why I should not marry her tomorrow in the congregation, where I should will, there will I shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no farther till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly, but till night, and let the issue show itself.
Oh, day untowardly turned!
Oh, mischief strangely thwarting!
Oh, plague right well prevented. So will you say when you have seen the sequel.
Act 3, Scene 3. Enter Dorgry and his compartner with the watch.
Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else it were pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them, if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable? Where's that watch?
Watchman?
Okay, sir, or George C. Cole, for they can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name, to be a well-favored man in the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable?
You have. I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, why, give God thanks and make no boast of it. For your writing and reading, let that appear when there is no need of such vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if a will not stand?
Why, then take note of them. Let them go and presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
He will not stand when he is bidden. He is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. So you shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We will rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only have a care that your bills are not stolen. Well, you are to call at all the alehouses and bid them that are drunk get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Well, why then let them alone till they are sober. If they make you not then a better answer, you may say that they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think that they that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company.
Evelyn always called a merciful male partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him.
If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Why, then depart in peace, and let the child wake her with crying. For the ewe that will not hear her lamb when it baas will never answer a calf when he bleats.
'Tis very true.
This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Oh, nay, belay, I think I cannot.
5 shillings to 1 on it. With any man that knows the statutes, he may stay him. Marry, not without the prince be willing, for indeed the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offence to stay a man against his will.
Bar lady, I think it be so.
Well, masters, good night. And there be any matter of weight chances, call me up. Keep your fellows' counsels and your own, and good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here upon the church bench till 2, and then all to bed.
One word more, honest neighbors. I pray you watch about Signor Leonato's door. For the wedding being there tomorrow, there's a great coil tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant, I beseech you.
Exeunt. Enter Baraccio and Conrad.
What? Conrad!
Yes, or not.
Conrad, I say!
Here, man, I'm at thy elbow.
Mass, and my elbow itched. I thought that we a scab follow.
I will owe thee an answer for that. And now forward with thy tale.
Stand thee close then under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Treason, masters, yet stand close.
Therefore, know, I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
Shouldst rather ask if it were possible any villain should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowest that the fashion of a doublet, or a hat, or a cloak is nothing to a man.
Yes, it is apparel.
I mean the fashion.
Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
Gosh, I may as well say the fool's the fool. But seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is?
I know that deformed has been a vile thief. This 7 years goes up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name.
Didst thou now hear somebody?
Oh, no, 'twas the vane on the house.
Seest thou not, I say, what a deformed thief this fashion is? How giddily it turns about all the hot bloods between 14 and 35, sometimes fashioning them like Pharaoh's soldiers in the Ricci painting, sometime like the God bells priests in the old church windows, sometime like the shaven Hercules in the smirched worm-eaten tapestry, where his codpiece seems as messy as his club.
All this I see, and see that the fashion wears out more apparel than the man. But art not thou thyself giddy with the fashion too, that thou hast shifted out of thy tale to telling me of the fashion?
Not so neither, but know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the Lady Harrow's gentlewoman, by the name of Harrow. She leads me out at her mistress' chamber windows, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale badly. I should first tell thee how the prince Claudio and my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John, saw afar off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought thy Margaret was Harrow?
Two of them did, the prince and Claudio, but the devil my master knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths, which first possessed them, partly by the dark night which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made, away went Claudio, enraged, swore he would meet her as he was appointed next morning at the temple, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw or night, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name stand.
Call up the right master constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that ever was known in the Commonwealth.
And one deformed is one of them. I know him, wears a lock.
Masters, masters.
You'll be made. Bring deformed forth. I warrant you.
Masters, never speak, we charge you. Let us obey you, go with us.
We are like to prove a goodly commodity being taken up of these men's bills.
A commodity in question. I warrant you. Come, we'll obey you.
Hey everybody, would you like to take 5 minutes? What's everybody's consensus?
That would be good.
Yeah?
Okay.
Ooh,
Yes.
Okay, I should have said this beforehand. Okay, well, this is a lot of fun, but it's plenty weird tonight, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Virginia, I couldn't find which watchman you meant for me to do. You said there was the first and second watchman and then another one, which
Well, I know, well,
you were one. Well, I don't know who was watch two.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I just been going with watch two, and that's all I'm doing.
You got stumped
I'm
on.
Watchman the
You
second.
got stomped on, Ken. I'm really sorry about that.
no, that's fine. I'm sorry. I'm just
I just stomped on you just now, yeah, because well,
no, not really.
well, I think he has, wait, he has at least one other scene, and everybody, Ken is Watchmen too.
Okay. I was
He is?
looking
Wait,
all
no,
through
no,
the
wait,
play.
what?
No.
What is it?
Well, Brian is, but Brian, you just missed part of Watchmen 2. Did you realize that? 'Cause
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
is
right. Brian is Watchmen
Listen,
too, and Ken is plain old Watchmen. Ken is
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
that's what I
Yasha,
couldn't
Yasha
find.
is Watchmen 1.
Okay.
Terribly sorry about that.
There's more watchmen.
Uh-huh.
There's more coming up.
as well, and it's like, wow, law enforcement actually doing its job. You know, they're kind of
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
kind of funny that
Well, you
that-
know
About you guys, but it's so humid here, I'm practically melting.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah, very humid.
Where are you? David?
I'm in Woodside, Queens.
Oh, yeah. Count yourself lucky. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it must be.
I'm about to spontaneously combust down here,
Oh my
and
gosh.
it's 9
Well, you know
o'clock.
what? I really forgot how much. I forgot that this play is so much prose. You know,
it
And
is.
in some
love it.
ways, I think it's
Love it.
easier, but in some ways, I know my own predilections, and it's for me, it's kind of easier to overact if it's prose. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think this is the prosiest one, I believe. This and Merry Wives of Windsor are the two. I forget which the order is, but
Yeah.
both of those
There
are
are tons of pros in that one.
because I mean that's the thing. I think what
I just did it. It's yeah.
yeah.
I love that bit just now. I forgot about that bit that Baracchio has about the fashions, the Ricci painting, and the codpiece. That's hilarious. There's a lot of really hilarious stuff in this play.
And a lot of things that you will only hear if you do something like a reading of the complete play as we do, because in a production, a lot of that stuff is just cut because it is as a comedy still. It's a fairly long play. It's
Yeah.
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 You mean
Well,
Mary? Yeah.
should
We
we
I think
make
with a
just
comedy,
need
you got to
to
keep it
speak the
snappy and
speech.
keep moving. Yeah.
We just need to speak the speech trippingly on the tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to keep it snappy, and you have to keep it, a fast pace, but make sure every word is enunciated properly, and you get all those little double entendres and everything in there. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, I think you guys are killing it. I think we're all killing it.
Yes, a good bunch.
I was doing my best to be swift.
Well, Eleanor, you're always awesome. We know that.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you always nail it. And we play off of you, and it's cool as hell.
Brian, thank you for stepping in on the enter and scenes and all that stuff.
Yeah, again, it helps with scene direction. What page are we on now? I'm sorry.
68, right?
Okay.
We are on 68. So shall we?
Are we in the midst of the break now, or are we?
Should we get going again?
I'm game if everybody else is.
I'm ready to resume it.
I'm here.
All right. So
Yeah.
here we go. Act 3, Scene 4.
It's a hero, Margaret and Ursula.
Let me get it off my boss camera.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice, and desire her to rise,
I will, lady.
and bid her come hither.
Well,
Oh, troth, I think your other abato were better.
That's Hero.
Hero,
Oh, no, pray thee, good Meg, I'll wear this.
by my troth, not so good. And I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none of but this.
I like the new tire with it excellently. If the hair were thought browner, and your gown's a most rare fashion and faith. I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
By my troth, but a nightgown in respect of yours, cloth of gold in cuts, and laced with silver, set with pearls, down sleeves, side sleeves, and skirts round underborne with a bluish tinsel. But for a fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10 on it.
God, give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
Oh, 'twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee, art not ashamed?
Of what, lady, if speaking honorably, is not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence, a husband. And bad thinking does not rest true speaking. I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think. And it be the right husband and the right wife, otherwise 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my lady Beatrice else. Here she comes.
Oh, good
To
morrow.
Beatrice.
Good morrow, sweet Hero.
Why, Highnound, do you speak in the sick tune?
I am all out of all othertude, methinks.
Oh, clapson's a lot of love. That goes without a burden. Do you sing it and I'll dance it?
You light the love with your heels, that if your husband have stables enough, you'll look he shall lack no bards.
Oh, illegitimate construction. I scorn that with my heels.
'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. By my troth, I am exceeding ill.
For a hawk, for a hawk, a house, a horse, or a husband.
For the letter that begins them all, ache.
Well, you be not turned Turk. There's no more saying by the star.
What beats the fool, trow?
Nothing I, but God send everyone their heart's desire.
These gloves that the Count sent me, they are an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot spell.
A maiden stuff, there's goodly catching of cold.
Oh, God help me. God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Ever since you left it, does not my wit become me rarely?
It is not seen enough. You should wear it in your cap. Oh, my troth, I am sick.
Oh, get you some of this distilled Cardamus Benedictus and lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
There thou prickst her with a thistle.
Benedictus.
Benedictus, why Benedictus? You have some moral in this Benedictus?
Moral? No, by my troth, I have no moral meaning. I mean plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think you are in love. Nay, fair lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not to think what I can, nor indeed I cannot think. If I would think my heart out of thinking that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love, yet Benedict was such another, and now is he become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted, I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Enter Ursula.
Mm,
Where's
Madam
Ursula?
Ursula, where art thou, Ursula?
Hmm.
Oh, Ursula, Madam, withdraw. The prince.
Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedict, Don John, and all the gallants of the town are come to fetch you to church.
Help me to dress me, good cuz. Good Meg, good Ursula.
Act 3, Scene 5. Enter Leonardo, the constable, and the headborough.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
Marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Marry, this is it, sir.
Yeah,
Headborough Verges.
Verges, where's Verges? I don't see Verges. Good man, Verges. Yes, I'm here. Yes. Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living. That is an old man and no honester than I.
what?
I'm lost. Where did you just
I'm
go?
upset.
I'm sorry, I should have said before. Isn't Headborough, isn't that Burgess?
No, it says head. Whose
The
head?
good man Verges, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as God help I would desire they were. But in faith, honest as the skin between his brows.
Oh, yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living. That is an old man and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous, palabrous, neighbor Verges.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so, but we are the poor duke's officers. But truly, for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find in my heart to bestow it all on your worship.
All my tediousness on me, eh?
Yea, and 'twere 1,000 times more than 'tis. For I hear no good examination on your worship as of any man in the city, and though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Marry, Sarah, what's tonight, accepting your worship's presence, have taken a couple of as errant knaves as any in Messina.
A good old man, sir. He will be talking, as they say. When the age is in, the wit is out. God help us. It is a world to see. Well, sad faith, neighbor Verges. Well, God's a good man, and two men ride of a horse, one must ride behind. An honest soul, if faith, sir, by my troth he is, as ever broke bread. God is to be worshipped. All men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
Gifts
I
that
must
God
leave
gives.
you.
One word, sir. Our watch, sir, have indeed comprehended two auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it me. I'm now in great haste, as may appear unto you.
It shall be sufficient.
Excellent.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare ye well.
But my lord, they stay for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I'll wait upon them. I'm ready.
Go, good partner. Go get you to Francis Seacole, bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the jailhouse. We are now to examine those men.
And we must do it wisely.
We will spare for no wit, I warrant you. Here's that shall drive some of them into a non-com. Only get that learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
Exeunt. Act 5. Enter Prince, Bastard, Leonardo, Friar, Claudio, Benedict, Hero, and Beatrice. Leonardo.
Leonardo?
One Friar Francis, be brief.
Act 4 scene
Sir
1.
Francis, be brief only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount the particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady?
No.
To be married to her, prior you come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, I charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any,
No,
Hero?
my lord.
Know you any, Count?
I dare make his answer, none.
Oh, what men dare do! What men may do! What men daily do!
How now? Interjections? Or then some be of laughing as ha ha ha.
Stand thee by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonato, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign of semblance of her honor. Behold how, like a maid, she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? It comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid by those exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married. Not to knit my soul to an unapproved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity.
I know what you would say. If I have known her, you will say she did embrace me as a husband, and so exaggerate the forehand sin. No, Leonato. I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seem I ever otherwise to you?
Out on the seeming, I will write against it. You seem to me as Dian to her orb, as chaste as is the bud ere it be blown. But you are intemperate in your blood than Venus or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well, that he doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that I have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Bastard, Don John.
They are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True! Oh, God! Oh, my mistake. Sorry. Shit.
True, oh God.
That's weird. Yeah. Leonardo, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face Heros? Are our eyes our oath?
All this is so, but what of this, my lord?
Let me but move one question to your daughter. And by that fatherly and princely power, kindly power, that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do, as thou art my child.
Oh God, defend me. How am I beset? What kind of catechising call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not Hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Marry that can, Hero. Hero itself can blot out Hero's virtue. What man was he taught with you yesternight out at your window betwixt 12 and 1? Now, if you are a maid, answer to this.
I talk with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why, then you are no maiden. Leonardo, I am sorry you must hear, upon mine honor. Myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, they are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoken of. There is not chastity enough in language, without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Oh, hero, what a hero hadst thou been, if half thy outward graces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair, fair, well, thou pure impiety and impious purity. For thee I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang, to turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it be more gracious.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
Why, hi now, cousin, wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. Help, uncle! Hero! Oh, hero! Uncle! Signor Benedict! Friar!
O fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
Oh, now, cousin Hero!
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why does not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, Hera. Do not ope thine eyes. For did I think thou wouldst not quickly die, thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames, myself would on thee a reward of reproaches strike at thy life. Grieved I had but one. Should I, for that at frugal nature's frame, oh, one too much by thee, why had I won? Wast thou lovely in my eyes? Why had I not with charitable hand took up a beggar's issue at my gates, who smeared thus, admired with infamy? I might have said, No part of it is mine. This shame derives itself from unknown loins, but mine, and mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine that I was proud on, mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine, valuing of her. Why, oh, she has fallen into a pit of ink that the wide sea have drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little, which may season give to her foul, tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so tired and wonder I know not what to say.
Oh, on my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you and her but bedfellow last night?
No, truly, not. Although until last night I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed, confirmed. Oh, that is stronger made, which was before barred up with ribs of iron. Would the princes lie, and Claudio lie, who loved her so that, speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die.
Oh, just a moment, please. I'll be right there. Page 82.
Yes, toward the bottom of it.
Okay. Hear me a little, for I have only been silent so long and given way unto this course of fortune by noting of the lady. I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face, 1,000 innocent shames and angel whiteness bear away those blushes. And in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn the errors that these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool, trust not my reading, nor my observations, which with experimental seal doth warrant the tenure of my book. Trust not my age, my reverence, calling, nor divinity, if this sweet lady lie not guiltless here, under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace that she hath left is that she will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She not denies it. Why seekst thou then to cover with excuse that which would appear improper nakedness?
Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
They know that do accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. Oh, my father, prove you that any man with me converse at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintain the change of words with any creature, refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprision in the princes.
Two of them have the very bent of honor, and if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirits toil in flame of villainies.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it. Time hath not yet so dried this blood of mine, nor age so eat up my invention, nor fortune made such havoc of my means, nor my bad life reft me so much of friends, but they shall find awaked in such a kind both strength of limb and policy of mind, ability and means, and choice of friends to quit me of them thoroughly.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here, the princess, left for dead. The prince is left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monuments hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that appertain unto a burial.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
Marry, this well carried shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good. But not for that dream I on this strange course, but on this travail look for greater birth. She dying, as it must be so maintained, upon the instant that she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied and excused of every hearer. For it so falls out that what we have we prize not to the worth whiles we enjoy it, but being lacked and lost, why then we rack the value. Then we find the virtue that possession would not show us whiles it was ours. So will it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into a study of imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come apparelled in more precious habits, more moving, delicate, and full of life into the eye and prospect of his soul than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wished he had not so accused her. No, though he thought his accusation true. Let this be so, and doubt not but success will fashion the event in better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood. But if all aim but this be levelled false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy. And if it sort not well, you may conceal her, as best befits her wounded reputation, in some reclusive and religious life, out of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries.
Signor Leonardo, let the friar advise you. And though you know my inwardness and love is very much into the prince and Claudio, yet by mine honor I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Seeing that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may leave me.
'Tis well consented, presently away, for to strange sores strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day perhaps is but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Exit.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely I do. I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
Very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
As strange as the thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say, I love nothing so well as you. But believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear by it and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says, I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it, I protest, I love thee.
Then, God forbid me, forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest. I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Can you shut up your chat? We hear you. Come. Bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Ha! Not for the whole wide world.
You kill me to deny.
Tarry,
Farewell.
sweet Beatrice, sweet Beatrice!
I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you, let me go.
Beatrice!
In faith, I will go.
Well, be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy.
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is it not approved in the height a villain that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! What? Bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then, with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor. Oh, God, that I were a man! I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man out a window, a proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Sweet hero, she is wronged, she is slandered, she is undone.
Beatrice.
By princes and counties, surely a princely testimony, a goodly count, confect. Oh, a sweet gallant, surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend would be a man for his sake. But manhood is melted into curtsies, valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongue, and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules, that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing, therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Carry, good Beatrice, by this hand, I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul that Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so leave you by this hand. Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead, and so farewell.
Act 4, Scene 2. Enter the constables, Borachio, and the town clerk in Gowries.
Is our old assembly appeared?
Oh, a stool and a cushion for the sexton.
Who's the sexton?
I think that's you, Michael, Sexton.
Yes.
Michael.
Who, me? I didn't know I had that part. Hold on. Oh, God. Let me get to it. Hold on.
Oh, that's okay. It's
All right. Hold on. Let me get back to it.
It's page, let's see.
90.
I'm getting there.
Page
I'm
90.
getting there. All right.
Bottom 90.
Okay.
Halfway down page 90.
Go ahead.
The scene again.
Go ahead.
Is our old assembly appeared?
Oh, a stool and a cushion for the sexton.
Which be the malefactors?
Mary, that am I, and my partner.
Nay, it's certain we have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Borachio.
Pray write down Borachio. Yours, Shira?
I am a gentleman, sir. My name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God? Masters, it is proved already that you are little better than false knaves, and it will go near to be thought so shortly. How answer for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
A marvelous witty fellow, I assure you, but I will go about with him. Come you hither, Sarah, a word in your ear. I say to you, it is thought you are false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Well, stand aside. For God, they are both in a tale. Have you written down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not this way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Oh, yea, Barry, that is the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down Prince John a villain? Why, this is fat perjury to call a prince's brother villain.
Master Constable.
Pray thee, fellow peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you say him say else?
Marry, that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the Lady Harrow wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
Counsel.
Yea, by the mass that it is.
And what else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did mean upon his words to disgrace Harrow before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain, thou wilt be condemned to everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John in this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this matter accused, in this very matter refused, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonato. I will go before and show him their examination.
Come, let them be opinioned.
Let them be in the hands of Coxcomb.
God's life, where's the sexton? Let him write down the prince's officer Coxcomb. Come, bind them, thou naughty varlet.
Way, you are an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost not that suspect my ears? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass. But, master, remember that I am an ass, though it be not written down. You forget not, ye, that I am an ass. No, thou villain, thou art full of piety, as shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am a wise fellow, and which is more an officer, and which is more a householder, and which is more as pretty a piece of flesh as any in Messina, and one that knows the law, go to, and a rich fellow enough, go to, and a fellow that hath had losses, and one that hath had no 2 gowns, and everything handsome about him. Bring him away. Oh, that I had been writ down an ass.
Exit. Act 5, Scene 1. Enter Leonato and his brother.
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself, and 'tis not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself.
I pray ye cease thy counsel, which falls into my ears as profitless as water in a sieve. Give me not counsel, then thou, let no comfort delight mine ear, but such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me
Are you
a father
okay?
that so loved his child, whose joy of her is overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience, measure his woe the length and breadth of mine, and let it answer every strain for strain, as thus for thus, and such a grief for such, in every lineament, brand, shape, and form, if such a man will smile and stroke his beard, and sorrow wag, cry him when he should groan, hatch grief with proverbs, make misfortune drunk with candle wasters, bring him yet to me, and I of him will gather patience. But there is no such man, for brother, men can speak counsel and speak comfort to that grief which they themselves not feel, but tasting it, their counsel turns to passion, which before would give perceptual medicine to rage, fetter strong madness with a silken thread, charm ache with air, and agony with words. No, no, 'Tis all men's office to speak patience to those that wring under the load of sorrow, but no man's virtue nor sufficiency to be so moral when he shall endure the like himself. Therefore, give me no counsel. My griefs cry louder than advertisement.
Therein do men from children nothing differ.
I pray thee peace, I will be flesh and blood, for there was never yet philosopher that could endure the toothache patiently. However, they have writ the style of gods, and made a push at chance and suffrage.
Yet bends not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know. So shall the prince and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here comes
Into Prince and Claudio.
Here comes the prince and Claudio hastily.
Good den, good den.
Good day to both of you.
Hear you, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonato.
Some haste, my lord. Well fared you. Well, my lord, are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
If he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Marry, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler. Thou! Nay, never lay thy hand upon thy sword. I fear thee not.
Marry, beshrew my hand, if it should give your age such cause of fear. In faith, my hand meant nothing to my sword.
A such man never fleer and jest at me. I speak not like a dotard nor a fool, as under privilege of age to brag what I've done being young, or what would do were I not old. No, Claudio, to thy head, thou hast so wronged my innocent child and me, that I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with gray hairs and bruise of many days do challenge thee to trial of a man. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slander has gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where never scandal slept save this of hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, old man.
My lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dare, despite his nice fence and his active practice, his May of youth and bloom of lustihood.
Away! I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so daff me? Thou hast killed my child. If thou kill'st me, boy, thou shalt kill a man.
He shall kill two of us, and men indeed. But that's no matter. Let him kill one first, win me and wear me. Let him answer me. Come, follow me, boy. Come, sir boy. Come, follow me, sir boy. I'll whip you from your finding fence. Nay, as I am a gentleman, I will.
Brother.
Content yourself. God knows I loved my niece, and she is dead, slandered to death by villains that dare as well answer a man indeed as I dare take a serpent by the tongue, boys, apes, braggarts, jacks, milksops.
Brother Anthony.
Hold you content. What, man, I know them, yea, and what they weigh, even to the utmost scruple. Scambling, outfacing, fashion-monging boys that lie and cog and flout, deprave and slander, go antically and show outward hideousness, and speak of half a dozen dangerous words how they might hurt their enemies if they durst, and this is all.
Brother Anthony.
Come, 'tis no matter. Do not you meddle, let me deal in this.
Gentlemen both, we will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on my honor she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord, my lord!
I will not hear you.
Enter
No.
Benedict.
No, come, brother, away, I will be heard.
And
Jesus
shall, or some of us will smart for it.
See, here he comes, the man we went to seek.
Now, Signor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Come, Signor, you are almost come to part almost a fray.
We had liked to have had our two noses snapped off with two old men. Thou teeth.
Leonato and his brother, what thinkst thou? Had we fought, I doubt we should have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel, there is no true valor. I came to see you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high proof, melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so, though very many have been beside their wit. I will bid thee draw, as we do, the minstrels, draw to pleasure us.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
What? Courage, man! What though care killed a cat? Thou hast metal enough in thee to kill care.
Sir, I shall meet your wit in the career, and you charge it against me. I pray you choose another subject.
Nay, then give him another staff. This last was broken cross.
By this light he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
If he be, he knows how to turn his girdle.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make a good how you dare with what you dare, and when you dare, do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have a good clear.
What, a feast? A feast?
I think, thank him, he hath bid me to a cow's head and a capon, the which, if I do not carve most curiously, say my nice naught, shall I not find a woodcock too?
Sir, your wit ambles well. It goes easily.
I'll tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wit the other day. I said thou hadst a fine wit. True, says she, a fine little one. No, said I, a great wit. Right, says she, a great gross one. Nay, said I, a good wit. Just, said she, it hurts nobody. Nay, said I, the gentleman is wise. Certain, said she, a wise gentleman. Nay, said I, he hath the tongues. That I believe, said she, for he swore a thing to me on Monday, on Monday night, which he forswore on Tuesday morning. There's a double tongue, and there's two tongues. Thus did she an hour together transshape thy particular virtues. Yet at last she concluded with a sigh, thou wast the properest man in Italy.
For the which she wept heartily, and said she cared not.
Yea, that she did, but yet for all that, and if she did not hate him deadly, she would love him dearly. The old man's daughter told us all.
All! And moreover, God saw him when he was hid in the garden.
But when shall we set the savage bull's horns on the sensible Benedict's head?
Yeah, in text underneath, here dwells Benedict, the married man.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which God be thankful hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother the bastard is fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my part, I just lost my friggin' place. Give me the page again. Give me the page, quick.
102.
102. Damn it! I hate when that happens. For my part, you have among you killed a sweet lady. For my kill the sweetest. For my lord Lackbeard there. He and I shall meet. Until then, peace be with him. What an exit.
Is in earnest.
In most profound earnest. And I'll warrant you with a love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
What a pretty thing man is, when he goes in his doublet and hose and leaves off his wit.
Enter Constable, Comrade, and Baraccio. He is then a giant to an ape. But then is an ape a doctor to such a man?
But soft you, let me be, pluck up my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother was fled?
Come you, sir. If justice cannot tame you, she shall ne'er weigh more reason in her balance. Nay, and you be a cursing hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
Now, two of my brother's men bound, Baraccio one.
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offense have these men done?
Married,
sir. They have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanders. Sixthly and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, I ask thee what's their offense. Sixth and lastly, why they are committed. And to conclude, what lay you to their charge?
Rightly reasoned, and in his own division, and by my troth, there's one meaning well suit.
Who have you offended, masters, that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. Do you hear me, and let this count kill me? I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the Lady Harrow, how you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Harrow's garments, how you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I had rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation. And briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he uttered it.
But did my brother set thee on to this?
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He's composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Sweet Hera, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved it first.
Come, bring away these plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonato of the matter, and masters, do not forget to specify, when time and place shall serve, that I am an ass.
Here comes Master Signor Leonato and the sexton too.
Enter Leonato. Leonato. Eleanor. Eleanor Elizabeth.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I note another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hath killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain, thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men, a third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor I. And yet to satisfy this good old man, I would bend under any heavy weight that he'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both, possess the people in Messina here. How innocent! She died. And if your love can labor on in sad invention, hang her an epithet upon her tomb, and sing it to her bones, sing it tonight. And tomorrow morning come you to my house, and since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost the copy of my child that's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble sir, your over-kindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer and dispose for henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow, then, I will expect your coming. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul, she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but always hath been just and virtuous in anything that I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which indeed is not under white and black, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me ass. I beseech you, let that be remembered in his punishment. And also the watch heard him talk of one deformed. They say he wears a key in his ear and a lock hanging by it, and borrows money in God's name, the which he hath used so long and never paid, that now men grow hard-hearted, and will lend nothing for God's sake. Pray you examine him on that point.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverend youth, and I praise God for you.
There's for your pains.
God save the foundation.
Oh, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to depart, and if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Until tomorrow morning, lords, farewell.
Exeunt.
Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Tonight, I'll mourn with Harold.
Bring you these fellows on. We'll talk with Margaret how her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
Exeunt. Act 5, Scene 2, enter Benedict with Margaret.
Pray thee, sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well at my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it, for most comely truth thou deservest it.
Oh, to have no man come over me. Why, shall I always keep below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as thy greyhound's mouth that catches.
And yours as blunt as the fence's foils, which hit but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret, it will not hurt a woman. And so I pray thee, call Beatrice, I give thee the bucklers.
Give us the swords, we have bucklers of our own.
If you use them, Margaret, you must put them in pikes with a vice, and they are dangerous weapons for maids.
Well, I recall Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore will
Exit Margaret.
And therefore will come. God of love that sits above and knows me, how pitiful I deserve, I mean in singing, but in loving. Leander the good swimmer, Troilus the first implorer of panders, and a whole book full of those quondam carpet mongers whose name yet runs smoothly in the even road of blank verse. Why, they were never so truly turned over and over as my poor self in love. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I've tried. I can find out no rhyme to lady, but baby. An innocent time for scorn born. A hard time for school, fool. A babbling time, very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, for I cannot woo in festival terms.
Enter Beatrice.
Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, senor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then it's spoken. Fare you well now. And yet ere I go, let me go with that I came, which is with knowing what has passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frightened the word out of his right sense so forcibly as thy wit, but I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. And I pray thee now, tell me, for which of my bad parts did thou first fall in love with me?
For them altogether, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they will not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, good appetite. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart, if you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in this confession. There's not one wise man among 20 that will praise himself.
Ah, an old instance, Beatrice, that lived in the time of good neighbors. If a man does not erect in his age his own tomb ere he dies, he shall live no longer in monuments than the bells ring and the widow weeps.
And how long is that, think you?
Question, why an hour in clamor and a quarter in rhyme and room? Therefore it is most expedient for the wise, if Don Worm, his conscience, find no impediment to the contrary, to be the trumpet of his own virtues, as I am to myself. So much for praising myself, who I am myself, will bear witness and praise worthy. And now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill too.
Enter Ursula.
Serve God, love me, and mend. There will I lead you to, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle. Yonder's old coil at home, it is proof my lazy hero hath been falsely accused, the prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John is the author of all, who is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, senor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes, and moreover, I will go thee with thee to thy uncle's.
Exeunt. Scene, Act 5, Scene 3. Enter Claudio, Prince, and 3 or 4 with tapirs. Is this the monument of Leonardo?
It is, my lord. That's fulfilled.
Epitaph. You got that right?
Was this the one you wanted me to do?
Yes, yes, Lord.
Kill it. Get it.
Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death, in guerdon of her wrongs, gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hang thou there upon the tomb, praising her when I am dumb.
And now, music, sound, and sing your solemn hymn.
Continue. Pardon, goddess of the night, yes, those that slew thy virgin night, for the which with songs of woe round about her tomb they go. Midnight assist our mourn, help us to sigh and groan. Heavily, heavily, graves yawn and yield your dead, till death be uttered. Heavenly, heavenly.
Now unto thy bones, good night. Yearly will I do this right.
Good morrow, masters, put your torches out. The wolves have pride, and look, the gentle day before the wheels of Phoebus rounds about, dapples the drowsy east with spots of gray. Thanks to you all, and leave us, fare you well.
Good morrow, masters, each his several way.
Come, let us hence and put on other weeds, and then to Leonato's we will go.
And Hymen now, with luckier issue speeds than this for whom we rendered up woe. Exeunt. Act 5, Scene 4, enter Leonardo, Bern, Marg, Ursula, Old Man, Friar, Hyro.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the prince and Claudio who accused her upon the error that you heard debated. But Margaret was in some fault for this, although against her will, as it appears in the true course of all the question.
Well, I'm glad.
Well, I am glad that all things sort so well.
Is that my line?
Yeah, Benedict, top of 116.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I lost my place again. Damn it. There's something scrolling weird tonight, but I'm coming right there. So I'm about to ask you something now.
Yeah, this is a weird night. What are you gonna do?
All right, and so am I, being else by faith and forced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all withdraw into a chamber by yourselves, and when I send for you, come hither masked. The prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. You know your office, brother. You must be father to your brother's daughter and give her to young Claudio.
Exeunt, ladies.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Prior, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, Signor?
To bind me or undo me, one of them. Signor Leonardo, truth it is, good Signor. Your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That I, my daughter, lent her, 'tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio and the prince. But what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But for my will is your goodwill may stand with ours this day to be conjoined in the state of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help.
Enter Prince and Claudio with attendants.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince, and good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter?
I'll hold my mind. Were she an Ethiop?
Call her forth, brother. Here's the friar ready.
Ah, good morrow, Benedict. Why, what's the matter? That you have such a February face, so full of frost and storm and cloudiness.
I think he thinks. On the savage bull, tush, fear not men. We'll tip thy horns with gold, and all Europa shall rejoice at thee, as once Europa did at lusty Jove, when he would play the noble beast in love.
Bold Jove, sir, had an amiable low, and some such strange bull leapt your father's cow. I got a calf, and that same noble feat, like you, for you have just his bleat.
Enter brother Harrow, Beatrice, Margaret, Ursula. For this I owe you. Here comes our reckonings. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
This same is she, and I do give you her.
Why then she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand before this holy friar. I am your husband, if you like of it.
And when I lived, I was your other wife, and when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero?
Nothing certainer. One hero died, but I do live, and surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero that is dead.
She died, my lord, but whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify, when after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meantime let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Soft and fair friar, which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Oh, why, no. No more than reason.
Why, then your uncle and the prince and Claudio have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
So, no more than reason.
Oh, why then my cousin Margaret and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
Well, they swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no matter, then, do you not love me?
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Come, cousin, I'm sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon it that he loves her. For here's a proper written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, written in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedict.
A miracle. Here is our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light, I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace, I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of wit crackers cannot flout me out of my humor. Dost thou think I care for a satire or an epigram? No. If a man will be beaten with brains, I shall wear nothing handsome about him. In brief, since I do propose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it. And therefore it never flout at me, for I have said against it. A man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but in that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised and love my cousin.
I had well hoped you would have denied Beatrice, and I might have cudgeled thee out of thy single life to make thee a double dealer, which out of question thou wilt be, if my cousin do not look exceedingly narrowly to thee.
Come, we are friends. Let's have a dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our own hearts and our wives' heels.
Yes.
We'll have dancing afterward.
First of my word, therefore play music. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife. There's no staff more reverend than one tipped with horn.
Oh, my lord, your brother John is ta'en in flight and brought with armed men back to Messina.
Think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise thee brave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers!
Yes.
Yes.
Yay!
A happy ending to a comedy because they get married, which is the ending of the comedy because it's amazing. I mean, thank you all. Great job, everybody. I'm very sorry I had something I had to deal with at the beginning that I went away. But this is it. I mean, man is a giddy thing. I mean, there are a lot of thing about reading all of these things. You get to see a lot of great lines. And Lisbellis, thank you so much. It's so great having you join us for the first time. So
Oh my God.
But
no,
let me
thank
just
you
say, for her
having
first
me.
time, she was so awesome, like so snappy with her dialogue, but so heartfelt, emotional, and just keeping that pace. You killed it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
know what?
again,
She's a really important character, but I forgot she doesn't actually say that much. So I feel a little bad about that, Lisbeth.
No, but she evoked so
welcome
much.
anyway.
Her emotion came across
Oh,
so,
yeah,
so
no. I mean,
powerful.
seeing off all you guys. No, you guys were great. I was just like, oh my God.
I do love.
This was a kind of weird night, but we still had fun. This is such a great play.
Yeah, and there's so much sort of great stuff, but you do sort of think, what is it going to be? These two couples have all been brought together by lies, you know?
Seriously.
But true love. There you
You're
go.
still recording.
True love lies.
No, you mean they tricked us? They tricked us into. Oh my
Yeah.
God. But they're married, and so it's too.
I love the movie.
Oh, you're
Did
still
you all love
recording?
the movie? Did you all see the movie?
Yeah, that was a really good movie. I remember when I first saw it, I thought I couldn't stand what Michael, what's his last name, McKean?
Michael Keaton as.
Yeah, Michael Keaton was doing as Dogberry. I thought he was really overacting, but then when I saw it again, I really loved it. I thought he was hilarious.
Batman, friggin' Beetlejuice did. That's crazy.
He did Dogberry, and for me, I'm sorry, I've seen it again, but I have still not reformed my opinion that his Dogberry, it's an embarrassment, I think.
Think so?
Sorry, I mean, I'm a huge fan of him. He's a great actor, but I mean,
miscast.
Just they all make mistakes. You take chances, and you make some mistakes with that. I also, if you've seen that movie, but on the whole, it really is a terrific movie, and it's great. Also, Joss Whedon, Much Ado About Nothing, in black and white.
I thought you were talking about me.
Oh, you were great. I thought you were great.
No, you're awesome.
What dog you're talking about?
I love that stuff
Michael Keaton.
about the dude deformed. I had forgotten about that. That's hilarious.
Deformed.
One
sorry?
deformed.
Well,
Yeah, no, we were talking. Verge had talked about Michael Keaton in the film of the Kenneth Branagh film,
That one.
and I much prefer Nathan Fillion in the Joss Whedon film. I mean, and I think what's really interesting about it was that it was filmed in 12 days on Joss Whedon's place where they did it, and I think it really captures it well. One of the other things is that this is in Messina, which is Sicily, and so for that, it's sort of, they really played up the sort of kind of mafia things. And I actually saw a really excellent production at Shakespeare Company a ways back that also played up that, because then everything is about honor. So to become something to die for and to kill for.
That makes sense.
They filmed a couple of movies called The Godfather in Sicily, I think. Yeah, I think they kind of did well too.
I love to tell this story because I grew up in Buffalo, New York, and until I was a teenager, and there was practically no theater going on in Buffalo, believe me. My dad was transferred to Boston because we had to. He worked at the new big Prudential Center. He worked for Prudential, so he moved to Boston. I was 16 years old at that point, and this is 1959. And suddenly there was theater.
Mm-hmm.
And we had barely gotten there when there was a production I had to see. It was in the big sort of amphitheater on the Charles River, sort of their version of Shakespeare in the Park. And it was John Gielgud's production of Much Ado About Nothing.
Oh, wow.
With Gielgud.
Wow.
Margaret Leighton.
Wow.
Jean Marsh's hero.
Wow.
The great Irish actor who I don't know how to pronounce his name, Michael McLeamore, I think, whatever. Anyway, Barry Ingham was Claudio.
Yeah, he was handsome.
And stealing the show was George Rose as Dogberry.
Oh, dog. Yeah.
I was totally hooked from then on.
It's so crazy the way Dogberry is written. He's just says one thing, then contradicts it the next sentence.
Yeah, he's adorable.
And it's all such nonsense. It's incredible.
Yeah, he'd be a great.
Who was Beatrice? Who was Beatrice in that production?
I'm sorry?
Who was Beatrice in that production?
Margaret Leighton.
Oh.
Very, very fine British actor.
Wait, she was really pretty. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, but let me just say, oh my God, they just killed women in this production throughout it until the end. And they just totally, they just, slut shamed, poor Harrow and everything. And oh yeah, well, there was some guy around her, her window like at midnight. Yeah, she must be a slut, whatever, what have you.
Yeah, that's what the Muslims do, dear. They stone
Yes,
women
yes.
to death, you know.
Actually, even in modern day Italy, I
Yeah.
remember a friend telling me she went to Rome back in the 80s and she was alone. And every time, because she was alone, all these guys would surround her.
Oh God.
Who are you talking about? I'm sorry, I missed
They
that.
thought she was a prostitute or a loose
They do
woman.
that in Mexico, you know. In Mexico,
Right.
I
And that
traveled
was
with
in the
my
80s.
husband and a friend, and the
Yeah.
taxi cab driver was trying to buy me because I was with two
Alone.
guys.
Two guys, yeah.
They're crazy.
They think, yeah.
Well,
2024, but this is this shit we got to deal with and where we got to live with. But still, at the end, I mean, we got an agency with really strong women like Margaret and all these other characters speaking up, saying, "Oh, hey, I'm saying something contrary, so I'm the villain." Oh, no, I shit all over that. Definitely. So, they definitely came out and just said that or whatever without being the villain of the story. But yeah, there were definitely some strong chicks, coming out of that and whatever. It was cool.
guys, believe it or not, I got involved in something else and I haven't eaten yet, so I gotta go eat.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. That
Well,
was fun.
have a
Thank
wonderful
you for
weekend,
joining us.
everybody. And I really still need people for Timon of Athens. I know live readings are more hasslesome in some ways, but
I'm in Charlotte. Otherwise,
What's the
Yeah,
date on that one?